I think a key role of a sponsor is to allow sponsees to make their own mistakes and to be there to support them. So I may well tell my sponsees that I think they're making a mistake, and I'll tell them why, illustrating it from my own experience. But I firmly believe it's their right to make that mistake if they think it's the correct thing for them to do. And for me, that's where I've got a lot of growth. I have always been uncomfortable with conflict because of the upbringing in my family. If I was to tell Mum I disagreed with her, it just wasn't worth the emotional drama that followed. So I would just bite my tongue and probably get passive aggressive or something like that. And I've had to learn how to speak up with sponsees. And a big part of that for me has been setting boundaries around phone calls, because for those first 37 days, the phone calls have to be every day. And as I said, a lot of people ask me to sponsor them. So I normally have quite a few sponsees, which means people get time slots and they have to stick to those time slots. So I've had to get a lot better at setting boundaries with people up front. And then I've also had to deal with my own feelings of discomfort when someone doesn't call, because my brain wants to make it all about me, that the sponsee is disrespecting me by not bothering to call and not bothering to text me and say that they're unable to make the appointment. And instead, I've practiced learning to think, I wonder what's actually going on for the sponsee that they haven't called. Because I know intellectually, if someone doesn't ring, I know it's highly unlikely it's got anything to do with me at all. But emotionally, it's always felt like it's because I'm unimportant. They don't care enough to tell me that they aren't ringing. So I've had to grow through that and learn to set boundaries, which has been really helpful. So the Sponsor's Guide says things like share your experience, strength and hope, don't give advice, particularly if it's something that's got nothing to do with sex and love addiction. And even if it has, I don't believe we can ever tell someone what to do. We can just share what's happened for us. And yeah, people have to be allowed to make their own mistakes. I get horrified every time I hear someone. The worst thing I think I've heard in a meeting was someone say their sponsor told them to stop taking their antidepressants because they needed to feel their feelings. And we're not doctors, we're not psychiatrists, we're not even therapists, and we're not supposed to be experts in those things. We're only supposed to help our sponsees work the steps and share our own personal experience.